but they're there if you need them. So this first look that I'm actually gonna do is to turn around to your 4 chord. So basically, I'm gonna start on my 5th fret here. And my A and B pedals are held down. Half step, lower your E's to a half step. And then half step again. Let off your A and B pedals. And then your 0 pedal is required for some of these licks. If you have a 0 pedal, or if you have a change that will lower your B's a whole tone, maybe not your 10th or 9th string, but your 5th string is definitely required, because you don't want to be. Well, you could actually move down 2 frets, but who would want to do that? I don't. You're gonna do. So basically, you could do. So, like I said, your 4 chord, your 1 to your 4 chord is definitely a good use for this. So that's one of those licks. Now play it again so you can. So that's that lick. Another one that I actually want to show you is this is one of those licks that I'm not gonna play the full part of it. I'm just gonna do part of it. So your A pedal and your knee lever that lowers your E the whole tone. Let me lower the bass down this a little bit more, so that I do not distort. So your E's are lowered, and I'm on my 6th fret. So that my E's are lowered, off my E's, and I'm still on my A pedal for this. On my F, knee lever. Whichever one you guys have, that's the one that you're using. Mine is my right left. Yours might be your left right or left left, whatever you want, or whatever you have. So off my on my F, and then 5th and 7th. So it goes 5 and 8, 5 and 7th, 5 and 6th. And as I'm getting off my pedal, I am actually sliding up 2 frets and letting it resolve from that C interval. And then on my B pedal, you can do like a little push-pull thing there. I don't know what they call. And then on to my 5th and 7th, 5th and 8th, and then resolve to your E's lowering. So this is kind of like an example of what you can do. Whenever you find they come in. So, that's basically what I did. So, and then the next one that I want to show you is a unison lick down to a G. So, I'm going to go 3rd fret. My 2nd string is lowered the whole time. And my A pedal is raising my B string, which is my 5th string. So 2nd in 5th. And I'm on my 3rd fret. Now, slide up 1 fret, let off your A pedal. Slide down and let off your knee lever that is lowering your 2nd string. And then 4th and 5th, A pedal down for this. Slide up 2 frets, and your F knee lever is going to go on when you go into the 6th fret. So that's another lick that you can, like I said, use also for your leisure. Now we're gonna go into the jazz licks that I most likely would like to do. I most likely, when I do jazz, it's mostly pretty stuff. I like to make it sound pretty, and I like to make it sound more unique. Just a tad. There we go. So, I've mentioned this in my last video, but I did not tell you how it's used at all. Lowers my 7th string a whole time, which I love because you can do so much stuff with it. One of the things I want to show you is how it's used in certain songs, like Nightlife, for example. Major 7th chords. So you got my 7th, I got my 7th string lowering the whole time, but I also got my 6th lowering the whole time. And I've talked about this in the last video too. I've talked about how it's used and how great they are. You get that unison going on to that major 7th. But you also could do stuff like pedal far, which not really, it's not really dream pedal, but I call it that. Along with my 6-string lowered. What I want to show you what I use my you probably if you guys have seen my guitar shows recently, I've recently added a modifier to my boo wah pedal, which normally would lower your, if you're playing a C6 neck, would lower your 10th, a whole and a half tone, your 9th string a half a tone, and your 8th string a half tone. And it does do that. My 8th and actually my 9th and 12th strings lower respectively their tones. But what I did was I really do not use my 11th string to lower a half tone that often. So I changed it to make it lower a whole tone. So you get that chord. And that chord is awesome for use. It's like a C13 to that. You could do something like stuff with that. Another thing that I forgot to show you with that dream, with my favorite pedal is if I want to resolve to a C major chord or something along those lines, even a D major or even E flat major. Go from my E flat major 7 to a C major 7. So if I wanted to do something like simple as that. I'll give you some examples. I've already gave Nightlife an example, but I'm not going to do it because I've done that enough. What could I do with it as an example? Relaxing. right now, but you get the gist. I mean, you know, you could basically add modified mine, so that makes it a whole lot sexier and a whole lot easier to do. So, I don't have a lot of bass on this amp strictly because of the fact that my mic will distort. So, pretty much that's it, everybody. If you want to contact me, get in touch with me, email me, please feel free to do so. Again, I'll give you an example. I'll give you some examples of, you know, what I use for this.